Hello friends, welcome back to Technique. Today we'll be talking about the detailed camera review of the new Honor X9b. So the Honor X9b is the latest device after the success of the Honor 9D. So Honor X9b is a mid-range device with a triple camera setup. So we'll be talking about how good the camera experience is on this device. We'll also be looking at the camera samples, the video recording, the selfie camera. So everything we'll talk about in this video. So before getting into the detailed video, if this is your first time on this channel, do hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. So let's begin. First, let's talk about the hardware. Now the primary camera is a 108 megapixel Samsung sensor with f1.75 aperture, and you also get 3x lossless zoom. Now the secondary camera is a 5 megapixel ultra wide angle camera with 110 degree field of view. The third camera is a 2 megapixel macro sensor. On the front panel, you get a 16 megapixel selfie camera with f2.45 aperture. So that's the camera hardware on the Honor X9b. So let's go straight into the camera samples to see how it performs. So let's first have a look at the daylight captures. In terms of daylight conditions, you can see here there is good amount of details. The colors are pretty good. The dynamic range is nice and wide. The sharpness levels is also acceptable. So overall, if you look at the daylight captures, the quality looks good. Even when you zoom into the pictures, you can see that there is plenty of details on offer. The colors are pretty much natural and overall quality looks pretty good. So in terms of daylight conditions, we haven't seen any major issues, and similar to the Honor 9D, the Honor X9b also does pretty good job in terms of daylight conditions, and overall it's a camera which will please most of the users in this price segment. So that's the daylight captures. Now let's move on to the ultra wide angle camera. The 5 megapixel ultra wide angle camera is not the best out there. Generally you see 8 megapixel ultra wide. Here we have 5 megapixel, and the colors are kind of slightly muted here, and the white balance seems slightly off in some pictures. So it's not the best 5 megapixel shooter out there, but it performs decently. Now the close-up shots taken with this device also was good. There is good bokeh effect with the 190 megapixel shooter, and the sharpness levels and colors are pretty much good. Now there is also a 2 megapixel macro sensor, which is once again very much average, I would say. Nothing great here. The 2 megapixel has its own limitations, and you can see the details are not that great. The colors are slightly washed out and doesn't look that great, and overall the quality of the 2 megapixel macros is strictly average on this device. So that's quite similar to other 2 megapixel shooters. Now the portraits definitely looks good, although the colors are a bit saturated. The portrait experience is good. The skin tones are kind of slightly reddish in nature, but overall I think it does a job with respect to portraits. The edge detection is quite good and nicely done. The dynamic range is also pretty good. So overall I feel the portraits are quite good on the Honor X9b. Now next let's move on to the low light. In indoor artificial light it does a decent job again, but when it comes to extreme low light, that's where you can clearly see noise kicking in, and when it goes to extreme low light, when you turn on the night mode, you can definitely see a lot of noise in the pictures. Again, lack of OIS is one reason, and when you're taking pictures in night mode, make sure you don't have any shake, because when the phone shakes, that will cause big issues with the images. So the noise levels could be fixed a bit more using fine tuning. But overall details are quite good in the low light captures. Now moving on to the selfie camera. The 16 megapixel shooter does a pretty good job. The details are good. The dynamic range is nice and wide. The skin tones are also quite acceptable. Again, there is a slight hint of reddish tone, but not a major concern. Overall, I feel the selfies are pretty good. The edge detection portrait selfie is also quite good, but again, the dynamic range was not that great. But overall, I would say selfie camera did a pretty good job. Now moving on to the video recording, you get 4K at 30 fps using the primary camera, but there is no stabilization offered. There is no EIS offered for the 4K 60 fps. While the footage looks good, there is good amount of sharpness levels and details, and also the dynamic range looks pretty good, but a lack of electronic image stabilization makes the video unusable for moving footages. Now same is the case with the 1080p at 30 fps or other 60 fps footage. The footage looks good, but then once again there is no EIS on offer, so once again it's not recommended for moving footages. So that's the video recording. These two formats are pretty good in terms of quality, but the stabilization is not offered at these two video formats. Now moving on to the 1080p at 30 fps, here you get the stabilization, which is quite good. The quality is very similar to the primary the 4K resolution, and does a pretty good job overall. So this is the video sample taken with the Honor X9b. Now this has the noise reduction for video. So let's see how that works. So I'm just turning on the noise reduction. So now the noise reduction is turned down, and now you can see how good the quality is. So this was there on the Honor 90 device as well. So now this is available in the X9b as well. So now I'm just turning off the noise reduction. So now the noise reduction is turned off. So this is a quite good feature, especially if you are vlogging. So this is available across all the video formats. So this is the front facing camera sample taken with Honor X9b. So this can record videos in 1080p resolution, and you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the video is and also the audio output. Now you can also do a noise cancellation with this device. That option is also included, so you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the video is. So summing up, how good is the Honor X9b? So Honor X9b is quite good in terms of primary camera. The 108 megapixel shooter does a quite good job, especially daylight conditions. The portraits are good. The close-up shots did pretty well. The lowlights are good, but then again the noise levels are slightly on the high side. The selfies are also quite good. The secondary and the third cameras are kind of very much average, especially the 5 megapixel ultra wide and 2 megapixel macro sensors are pretty much average. So that was the detailed camera review of the Honor X9b. So what do you guys think about the camera on the Honor X9b? Do let us know your thoughts in the comment section. This is Nirmal signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.